What up, YouTube? Brokefarmer back to another video on this beautiful day, y'all. And I started gardening, and most of the information I got from other people that had been passed down generation to generation. And some of that stuff ain't always true. So we're gonna talk about gardening myths that people still believe in. But do your research. Definitely do your research. Myth number one, you can only grow food if you put a whole bunch of amendments to get the soil at the right pH and get everything where it's supposed to be at. Whoa, watch out, Big B. Watch out, Big B. Simply not true. You need a lot of organic matter, and then get your soil really right, get all the microbes in there, everything you need, and then you can grow food. Now, fertilizer will help the process, but a lot of things you just don't need. You need a lot of organic matter, compost, and occasional fertilizing. But the better your soil get, the less fertilizer you're gonna need. It's simply not true. Another myth, blossom end rot is a lack of calcium. Now, these tomatoes got too much water and they starting to split. Just like that. Blossom end rot is caused by watering issues. In initial studies, it said the fruit lacked calcium in it. You know, it was calcium deficient in the fruit. But that has nothing to do with the soil that it was grew in. It's all kind of watering issues. It has nothing to do with the calcium. Most soil isn't low in calcium. It's just not. So do a little research on that. That's definitely false. All right, this one I've never believed in. Adding fertilizer to the hole you're about to plant something in. It's a bad idea, really bad idea. Because you got all this nutrient-rich soil in here, but around it you have your other soil that's maybe not that good. So are those roots gonna venture out into this other soil, or is it gonna stay where that good soil at and just keep wrapping around? It's gonna stay right there and it's gonna keep wrapping around. So all the things, fertilizer, all the things you add to the hole when you get ready to plant it in it tells the roots, hey, roots, stay here, this is the good stuff. Don't venture out there to that other soil. All the good things you need are right here. All right, another myth is when you have a young tree like this, you know, weak branched, put a stake up there. Keep it in place. Make sure it don't shake and move too much. Well, that's simply false. A tree like us need exercise and actually grows thicker by the wind blowing it. So if your tree is top heavy with a lot of branches at the top, then you might need a stake for it to keep from falling over. But even that, 6 months, take that stake off, because it's gonna make your tree stay thin like this. As that wind comes through, it's just like our muscles. The more we move our muscles, the bigger they get and the stronger they get. Same holds true for these trees. The wind's gonna make it bigger, thicker, and a great tree one day. Another myth, putting gravel at the bottom of your containers will help with drainage. I'm not even gonna go deep in that one. Google it and do your own research. I can't give you all these tidbits. I'm just gonna give you the question and I want you to go find the answer. It does not work. Don't put gravel at the bottom of your containers. All right, this one that caught me a little off guard. Pine needles, once they brown, you know, they fell off the tree and they've been out the tree for a little while, are not acidic. A lot of people say you put too many pine needles around your tree, it makes the soil acidic. Well, the pine needles are acidic if they freshly off the tree. But once they've sat for a little while, they're not that acidic at all. I've heard that for a while. Do your research. Please don't believe me. Do your research. Pine needles aren't that acidic at all. Don't fertilize stressed out plants. It's not gonna help them. If that plant isn't nutrient lacking and need fertilizer, don't fertilize it. It's not gonna help a stressed out plant already. I don't know how else to put that, or how else to explain that. If a plant is already stressed, it's going through something already. Putting fertilizer on it, saying, hey, grow, produce fruit, is not gonna make that plant do better. Don't do it. All right, this one I never believed. Watering in midday is bad for your plants. They say the water builds up on your leaves in midday, and that water becomes like a magnifying glass and burns your plants and burns your leaves. Simply not true. If anything, it's bad to water in midday because the sun evaporates the water out the leaves so fast that it doesn't go down to the roots. So it's false. But please do your own research. Come up with your own conclusions on this stuff. Please don't listen to a guy named Brokefarmer on YouTube about what you should be doing in your garden. Research, and when you get a minute, research again. Oh yeah, one more I almost forgot. Fresh coffee grinds tie up nitrogen. Let your coffee grinds dry out and then apply them. All right, now with all that being said, what are some myths you heard that you later found out wasn't true? There's a whole bunch of them out there, and it's not because somebody wanted to steer you in the wrong direction. It's because it's the information they were given and them trying to help you pass it down. Some things work for some people, but for different reasons. Let that sink in for a minute. It might not have nothing to do with the problem you having, but by this person doing this over there, that works. Kind of confusing, I know. But there's nothing wrong with challenging what is norm in the garden. You got to think outside the box, and what works for your yard might not work for everybody else's yard. Do a little experimentation, a little research, and develop what's right. I mean, we can go on for days and days having debates about scientific things that ain't right. What works in my garden don't work in your garden. Don't get caught up in all that. Anything I tell you, like I said earlier in the video, do your own research and see what you come up with. Because if you go on the internet and you look long enough, you're gonna find 15 different reasons not to do something, 15 different reasons to do something. The only difference is the things that you try in your yard. If it works in your yard, then it works. No matter what Brokefarmer or nobody else on this YouTube platform say, if it works in your yard, it works in your yard. Never be deterred by what somebody else say or what somebody else do in their garden. What works for you works for you. Never be afraid to say, hey, I do this and this works for me. You know what I mean? Enjoy y'all day. I'm so glad y'all watched this video. I hope y'all got something out of it. And don't forget to leave them comments and let me know,